what am I doing differently? I'd say sort of putting myself in situations where I'm not comfortable. At the start of my apprenticeship, I didn't do a thing. I was sort of just do the job, go home. But I think I just started to feel like, okay, there's more to this. I can use the platform that I've got to help inspire those who are coming behind me. January, I had my first school talk, and since then it's just been talk after talk, engagement after engagement. I think communication and leadership skills for sure. Obviously, in my apprenticeship, I'm not like the senior this or that, but even if it's just in the projects that I own, making sure I take a lead on them, not waiting for other people to ask me on progress updates and things like that. Making sure you see people in the spaces that you want to be. I think that's really what was missing.
Hi, and welcome to the Engineering Talent Podcast, powered by Equal Engineers, where we celebrate the people and organisations shaping a safer and more inclusive engineering world. Each episode, we shine a light on the inspiring engineers and employers who are redefining what it means to build, lead, and innovate. Because when we make safety and inclusion inseparable, we can unlock the true potential of engineering talent. This is the Engineering Talent Podcast. Welcome to the Engineering Talent Podcast, powered by Equal Engineers. I'm still your host, Fayon Dixon. My guest today is proof that success doesn't move in a straight line, even when it looks like it from the outside. Currently a digital and technology solutions degree apprentice at National Highways, he's stacked up placements with the likes of EA, Mastercard and Bloomberg, and picked up not one, but several award nominations along the way, including one just a few months into the job. Whew. Now, somewhere in between all of that, he's also fitting in basketball coaching. So how does someone still so early in their career end up with a track record like that? Let's find out. Please welcome Yanmi Orebowale. Oh, wow. It is great to have you on the podcast. Yanmi, how are you?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm good. Thank you for having me. It's really, really good experience to have.
Yeah, absolute pleasure. Now, we met a couple of months ago at the Big Bang Fair in Birmingham. I was hosting, it's like a branch off of the Meet the Future You, and it's called Guess Who? And you were one of our contestants, and the crowd loved you. Wasn't it fun?
Oh, that was definitely great fun. Had my little fan club after every session, but it was, yeah, definitely really good to sort of talk to them and show them that you don't have to go to uni to have a really good career, and you can start as early as 16, 18, whatever you want.
Absolutely, yeah. I think the reason why they rushed you was because you were so happy and smiley and really open. Not that everybody else wasn't, everybody was, but you were just so open. And I think because you were quite, young in age to
Yeah,
them, like not too far away in their age, they kind of gravitated towards
yeah.
you. Um, I mean, take me back. Was there a specific moment, or even a person, or maybe a game or a gadget that first switched you on where you were like, I want to work in tech and engineering? Was there a spark for you?
Yeah, honestly, you got to take it back quite a few years to when I was like young, sort of like 4, 5. Honestly, around that time, I'd sort of just
Ah.
dismantle everything in the house. Like my parents would complain, but I think I just have loved technology from an early age. So that's definitely where the passion came from, sort of putting things, well, taking things apart, but not putting them back together. So, yeah.
Yeah, what's up with the TV? Huh?
Gone.
Oh gosh. So you went from GCSEs to A levels in computer science and business and straight into a degree apprenticeship rather than the traditional university only route. What made you back yourself to that path?
Well, that's a really good question because I actually didn't apply to university either, so it was a really big gamble just relying on degree apprenticeships. But I think it's because of the research I'd definitely been doing, and I really, really wanted to be at the forefront of technology, especially within the transport sector, as like connected car technology, those sort of things had really interested me in the past. So I sort of knuckled down on that, built my experience as you talked about, and yeah, just went for it.
I mean, they are three very different industries: EA, Mastercard,
Oh,
and
absolutely.
Bloomberg. I mean,
Yeah.
what did jumping between them teach you about what you actually wanted?
Yeah, I think at first the re definitely jumping between them really helped me decide what I wanted to do. I'd say at first because I know I wanted to work in tech, but the industry I wanted to work in was a little bit more difficult. So obviously Mastercard, you got banking, EA, you've got games development, and then Bloomberg's again more on the financy trading side. So I think all of them really did help me to sort of find my path in a sense, but also discover how many different career paths you can take in within technology. Like it was so really expansive, and I think that sort of drew me in even more.
Mm-mm. How old are you now?
Just turned 19 2 weeks ago,
Just,
actually. Yeah.
oh, happy birthday.
Thank
What
you.
date was your birthday? What date?
29th June.
29th of June.
Yes.
I was July 2nd, so you and I are
Oh,
quite
okay.
close with the birthday.
Really close, yeah.
And it was sunny this year.
It was. That was a really good day.
It was a bonus for me too, it really was. For apprenticeship, award finalist nominations in under 2 years is a serious track record. What do you think you were doing differently that's got you noticed?
What am I doing differently? I'd say sort of putting myself in situations where I'm not comfortable. I think between at the start of my apprenticeship, between September and December, I didn't do a thing. I was sort of just do the job, go home. But I think I just started to feel like, okay, there's more to this. I can use the platform that I've got, the apprenticeship that I've got to help inspire those who are coming behind me. So January I had my first school talk, and since then it's just been talk after talk, engagement after engagement. But it's been really, really good journey.
Let me just stop you right there to reflect upon talking to young people in schools. I've done it for, I don't know, 15 years or whatever. And you got all these eyeballs just
Oh
looking at
yeah.
you. How did that feel? Because these kids were very close to your age. How did that feel?
Yeah. The first time was so nerve-wracking, I think, because it was a pretty it was a whole year group. It was their assembly, I think about 150 school kids, something like that. And they were all just sitting at me, they were just sitting watching me like the whole time. I was like, okay, yeah, so and but the thing is the presentation wasn't too long, so I could sort of just get through it. And then one of them did have a question, so that
That's
definitely
good.
helped. That helped, yeah.
That's good. The thing is about public speaking, when you're up on stage, what's worse? Everybody staring at you or people looking away from you? You
Oh,
know,
looking away.
person personally, I want them to look because at least I
Yeah.
think they're then paying attention. But sometimes people look at you and they've got kind of resting face, so or they're frowning, or and you're
Yeah,
like, what have I just said? What did I do?
yeah.
Have I left? Is there something in my hair? I've got spinach in my teeth. What's going on? Oh my God! But I love a live audience. So
Oh,
have you got
absolutely.
the? I mean, I've seen you on stage. You really own it. You're very, very natural. So have you got a bug for being out there doing more talks?
I think I have definitely developed the bug for sure because especially at work when there's any opportunities saying, oh, we've got this speaking engagement going on. I'm pretty much the first. The careers lead is always saying, oh, you're always the first to these opportunities. So I think definitely picked up a bugs from somewhere. I don't know how, but yeah, definitely.
Enjoy yourself because it's very, very, very hard for a lot of people to do public speaking. And I've said it a million times. There's a TV show, which you probably haven't seen because you're young, but the guy that's on that TV show is called Jerry Seinfeld, and he's a stand-up comedian, and he says, when it comes to public speaking, most people would prefer at a funeral to be in the coffin rather than reading the eulogy.
Mm,
That's how much people fear public speaking. You're like,
yeah,
whoa.
that is probably about right. Yeah.
So, we all love a highlight reel. And, you've got that so far, but I've got to find out what was the hardest moment in your apprenticeship so far? Was there a point where you genuinely doubted yourself? Because you come over very, very confidently. What do you think?
Yeah, I think there have definitely been moments where I've doubted myself for sure. I think right at the start, I did deal with a bit of imposter syndrome because you got all these people with different titles and even some apprentices who obviously some of them are my age, they're a bit older, so they've already had jobs and things like that. And I'm just
Mm.
wondering, okay, I'm not the most knowledgeable in the room, I'm not the most qualified, and it's sort of difficult, I guess, to sort of establish yourself in a place with people who are a lot more senior than you. But I eventually did overcome it with help of my manager. He's really, really supportive. And I sort of just plowed on with it and got through it. Obviously, I'm definitely not done with it. There are still some rooms that I get into where it's obviously a bit of doubt in myself, but
Yeah,
we
yeah.
keep going, keep
You're
going.
human. You're human at the end of the day. You just got to make sure those voices don't overtake you
For sure, yeah.
and get in the way, because we can be, saying this to myself, still at my grand old age, I can get in my own way sometimes.
Mm.
And it's like, Fayon, get out of your own way. Because when you check it, nobody else is in your way.
Yeah, that's true. It's true.
It's up to
Yeah.
you. You're in charge of your mistakes. You've got to live with them. Anything that happens. So, I mean, you mentioned your manager, which is great. It's always great. I'm just going to give your manager a little rattle because, we don't forget these people, like teachers, the
Definitely.
coaches that we've
Oh,
had
yeah.
in our life, obviously our family. I mean, is there anybody specifically on your journey coming through who pushed you forward when things got tough? And, what did they actually say or do that stuck with you?
Hmm. I think one person that stood out to me a lot recently, I didn't notice it much at the time, but definitely an old basketball coach of mine. Like I definitely wasn't the star of the team, especially when I was around 12, 13. I did a bit late, so but I think at those times he'd always credit me when I've like tried really hard or like made a really good pass. Like he'd genuinely make sure that I knew what I was doing was good, and he could see that potential, whether it was in basketball or in a career somewhere. And he really did push me to do things like that. And then definitely, uh, one of the careers people we had in one time, Dale. Dale Willis. He really, really pushed me because he could hit me as well. So yeah, definitely shout out to him for sure. Helped me a lot.
Wow. All right, all right. We love that. And let's stick with basketball coaching for a moment.
Yeah,
I mean,
okay.
you've done your own bit of coaching as well, haven't you?
I have, yeah. So yeah, I think that started. I think I sort of picked up a knack for it, even when I got maybe a little bit older than 12, 13. No, I think maybe even GCSE time when I sort of like start motivating and sideline coaching the younger age groups because I could see things that they could improve on so they can be better, things that I personally struggled with when I was around their age. And so it's sort of just picking up that knack for sideline coaching. And then it got to year 12 and I started coaching year 7, year 9, and year 10 teams. And then I carried it on through sixth form. And then, yeah, for my local basketball team as well. So, yeah, definitely a
Nice,
good
nice.
journey.
That's really great. And what have you taken from coaching that has actually shown up in your work that you do now?
Yeah, I'd say, oh, that's a really good question. I think communication and leadership skills for sure. Um, Obviously in my apprenticeship, I'm not like the senior this or that, but even if it's just in the projects that I own, sort of making sure I take a lead on them, not waiting for other people to ask me on progress updates and things like that. But
Yes.
just sort of staying proactive, and also even if it's not my own project, looking at other people and saying, "Oh, this is what I did wrong. Here's where I think you should improve so you don't take the same path as me," and
Mm.
just things like that.
Ooh, you see that? That's the mark of a leader right there. Someone who is generous in their experience and okay with sharing when things did not go right so that it can go right for them. That is an incredible skill to have at your young
Yeah,
age because most people make mistakes and they want to bury them
yeah,
on the
oh yeah.
dark side of the moon and never talk about them again. But how are we going to learn if we don't share?
Agreed.
Oh, good on you, man. Good on you. And talking about leadership, you're a STEM ambassador and
Yes.
a Black Apprentice Network member. What do you still think is missing for young people, especially those who don't see themselves reflected in engineering,
Yeah.
trying to find their way in?
Yeah, yeah, I think you took it from me. I was about to say representation actually, sort of making sure see people in the spaces that you want to be. I think that's really what was missing. I went into school not too long ago, actually, maybe oh, I thought okay, yeah, about June, and I was talking to the students. Students didn't know what apprenticeships were, didn't know what engineering, technology, what careers in them were actually about. Obviously you hear AI and things, but you don't know what those careers are actually about. So did a presentation, had a bit of a roundtable discussion with them. And after that discussion, asking them again what they wanted to do with their careers, it was really consistent with our apprenticeships in engineering, apprenticeships in technology, obviously different apprenticeships,
Mm.
but a lot of them had sort of adopted that, oh, I actually like apprenticeships and they do make a lot more sense for what I want to do and my future in general. So yeah.
Mm. That is great. And what is the advice that you were saying that kind of flipped the script for these boys? Were they all boys? Sorry, were there girls
Oh
in the
no,
room?
yeah, boys and girls, a lot of schools I go to. So I think, oh, major selling point I think is sort of gaining that real world experience for a lot of them, especially the ones that are in like year 12, year 13, that don't really want to wait until they finish university to actually get in the real world, get started on
Yeah,
projects and sort of gain that ownership. And then obviously you've got the free qualification and getting paid at the same time. That's always a big one for
that's a
them,
big
which is fair, I
bonus.
guess. But
Yeah.
it's definitely mean that real world experience and actually sort of maturing quicker is definitely a big one, and being able to have that
Mm,
financial freedom.
mm. Yeah, I've always wanted freedom from when I was a very young person. I knew that I wanted to earn money as soon as I could. And so
Yeah,
I went down the college route. I earned while I learned. Yeah, I earned while I
yeah,
learned.
yeah,
And that's what was good for me. And, it was very important that I could be around as many people as I could, all different ages. That was
yeah,
important to me.
yes,
I loved
yes.
listening to the conversations and just looking at this, what am I, 16, looking at a 21-year-old and going, oh God, I'm so
Yeah.
old.
Yeah, definitely the same for me. For me, it's like I came into the company about 18, and then people I'm working with in my team, they're like maybe like late 30s, 50s, getting on, and they're always so, so mature, but it sort of helped me to grow in a sense, but it was definitely so funny, sort of them trying to come down to my level and yeah, trying to relate, but they do their best. They do their best. It's good. It's good
They're
fun for
coming,
sure.
yo, yo, yo.
That is exactly what they do.
No, they didn't. No, they didn't. They didn't do that. Oh my gosh, that's so funny. I mean, literally, I'm like mummified. If you think like 40s and 50s old, I'm like mummified. You're gonna dig
Honestly,
me up
yeah.
in an old tomb. Yummy. It's been brilliant talking to you. It's been so much fun. Um, before we end this podcast, you've made me got tears. I've got no tissue. I've got tears in my eyes. I like to finish with a bit of a quiz question. So will you
Okay.
play?
Of course, I'd love to.
Okay, here we go. This is from when I was born. In medieval England, what were young apprentices typically required to do before they could become a master of their trade? Now, so
Wow.
it is four opportunities for the right answer. It's multiple choice.
Okay,
So,
okay.
was it A, pay a fee to the king? B, produce a masterpiece, a piece of work judged by a guild to prove their skill? Or was it C, marry into the trade family? Or was it D, travel abroad for a year? Which one?
I'm going to go with B. It sounds
Which one now?
logical. B.
Okay, so is that your final answer?
That is my final answer. Yeah.
Do you want to lock it in?
Yeah. I'll lock it in. I'll lock it in. Yeah.
You're absolutely right.
Yes.
Yes. But the answers really is in the word in a way. So it's brilliant. That's literally where the word masterpiece comes from. It wasn't
Okay.
originally about great art. It was about an apprentice's first, or rather final exam. Isn't that great?
That is good
Yeah.
knowledge. I love that. Yeah.
Yeah, so their very last exam piece, that's what it was all about. So you've learned something new. Please share it.
Of course. Of course.
Oh, man, it has been a pleasure to interview you. When we met at the Big Bang Fair, I think I was already saying you have to come on my podcast. Did I not?
Yes. Yeah. I remember that.
And
Yeah.
yeah, I knew you'd make a great guest. So thank you so much for your time. Um, just keep on doing what you're doing with heart and your passion and your generosity of spirit in supporting the next generation. You really are fantastic. So it's great to see you.
Thank you, Fayon, for your time. Really appreciate you bringing me on here. It was a genuine pleasure coming and good fun as well. Thank you.
Nice one. Nice one. All right. Take care then. Thanks.
Me too. Bye.
Thank you for listening to the Engineering Talent Podcast powered by Equal Engineers. Now, if you enjoyed this episode, follow and share it with others who also want to build a safer and more inclusive future for engineering. To learn more about the Equal Engineers Talent Awards, discover more inspiring stories, or explore how Equal Engineers is helping organisations make safety and inclusion inseparable, visit equalengineers.com. I'm Fayon Dixon, and until the next time, keep celebrating talent, keep telling your story, and keep engineering change.